There will be no official Democratic nominee and no endorsement from the Brooklyn Democratic Party in the race to replace Kareem Kamara in the State Assembly's 43rd District seat. That won't stop the special election from taking place on Tuesday, May 5th, so the district will have representation for the first time since Mr. Kamara vacated his seat in early January.
And how could a Brooklyn election not have a Democratic candidate? Well, the spot on the ticket was set to go to Guillermo Philpotts, who effectively nominated himself as a Democratic contender at a meeting of the county committee, but he failed to make the deadline for filing a certificate of nomination with the Board of Elections.
Well, still several candidates, most of them Democrats, are running as independents or on other party lines. Today, we want to welcome one of them. She's Diana Richardson, representing the Working Families Party and currently the Executive Board Member for Community Board 9. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Brian
Absolutely.
and Greg.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
First things first, we mentioned there's no Democratic candidate on the bill. What do you say to voters who wonder why that is?
Well, I would say that's a testament to the leadership that we've had in the committee and the community. County committee that's the committee that comes together to fill such a vacancy. Right. And we have 200 slots for the 43rd Assembly District. And instead of having 200 people serving of concerned community residents, the committee only had 10 people on it. And the district leaders are responsible for putting people on this committee.
That's a lot. So we talk about this whole two-party system and whether it's broken, but you're entering on the Working Families Party line. So what are the advantages or what separates you from those other two major parties as a WFP person?
Well, I'm a direct product of this community. I was born here, raised here, and educated here. Mm-hmm. And the Working Families Party is a party for all New Yorkers. They fight for the things that we need, like real affordable housing, access to great public schools. So I'm very proud to be a part of the Working Families Party and to be representing for the 43rd Assembly District in the New York State Assembly.
So what do you think are the top issues that you want to get fixed in the district right when you get elected?
Housing, housing, and housing again. Mm-hmm. We are amidst a housing crisis. Luxury development is being built in the community expeditiously. People who have built this community, who have been here for a very long time, are being forced out currently as we speak. The housing laws expire on June 15th. We also are giving away big tax breaks to developers with the 421A. So the housing issue is the number one thing.
So we know you've been outspoken on the 421A, and there's a very vocal contingent who are saying, you know, we got to toughen and renew these laws. June is go time. It's going to be over. So if things go to plan, you'll be sitting in that seat come June. And we know that you're against 421A. What is your viable alternative to replacing what I presume you think is an outmoded system of incentives?
We need to come up with a housing program that actually works. Mm-hmm. Right now with 421A in its current state, 80% is given to luxury developments and 20% is affordable housing. Unfortunately, affordable is $75,000. You have to make $75,000 to qualify for those affordable units. That's double the figure that people make in my district. People in the community are making roughly $40,000 to $45,000, so they never really have a pathway to get into these units. So we really have to come up with a different configuration, maybe 50-50, 50-20-30, and then really cut through the red tape that allows people to get into the housing, yeah.
Because there has been so much red tape. I mean, housing has been an issue for so long. To that end, what changes do you think you might be able to advocate for in Albany to speed up these changes to housing?
We need to change the area median income that is being used. Okay. So the area median income of where the housing is being developed should be reflective of the community. So using a New York City-wide AMI of $75,000 will never help the families in Crown Heights, Prospect, Levis Gardens, and East Flatbush because they don't make that type of money.
Right. So let's, where you talked about AMI, we just did a thing on that on Thursday and really got into what it means and all the counties that they include and stuff. But looking into the history, Clarence Norman Jr. was the representative for a number of years. He was actually the president of the Democratic conference here. And then we go to Camara, who was in the office for 10 years. These guys knew about the levers of power, and the community is still in the place where it is right now. So what kind of things are you prepared as a junior freshman person walking in, knowing that your community in particular is at a critical place right now? I saw a video you did saying we can't have business as usual. So what are you prepared to do as a freshman, first day on the job, to address those things?
First day on the job, meet with Assemblymember Keith Wright, meet with all of the legislators. And, this is really about relationship building and ensuring that people understand how we're not benefiting from what is currently, the system with the housing. And getting everyone together so that we are on the same page. We have a new speaker. The vibe is different in Albany right now. So I think across the state, people are suffering the same. Now is the time now is the time for us to work in a coalition together to ensure that our constituency voices are heard.
What about those new ethics reforms and all the stuff that was tied to the budget deal that Cuomo just signed? They're sort of proud of it, but in the meantime, he's dismantling commissions that he called when it gets a little close to home. So what about ethics in Albany? You're going to a place that's been fairly toxic.
I'm going to stay true to who I am. I'm a person of integrity. I'm a person of respect. So I'm going to stay true to who I am and ensure that I hold myself in the highest ethical standards.
So address all the potential voters out there and sell yourself on them. You've been with Community Board 9. How has that prepared you for the new role that you're running for?
Being on Community Board 9 has prepared me because we are dealing with the everyday nitty-gritty issues of the community through the different committees. Voters, now is the time. If we want something different, we definitely have to do something different in the 43rd. We deserve better, we can get better, but now is the time for us to stick together and to really come to the table to have our voices be heard. So if you want something different on Tuesday, May 5th, vote for Diana Richardson on the Working Families Party line.
So knowing that there isn't a Democratic contender and we're supposed to be like, this is a real Democratic place here in Brooklyn, what do you think that the voters are feeling? It seems if there was candidate apathy, if nobody got it together to file to run as a Dem, then why should they show up at the polls?
Because this race is important, and we're all working families. We get up every day and we go to work to provide for our families. And so be involved, because this is the way we speak. We speak through our voice. We speak through our vote. Get involved and come out to vote. Every vote is going to count on Tuesday, May 5th.
So what's it going to take for you to win this thing? How many folks are going to have to come out? Because in the regular election, it's even like sometimes, unless Obama's on the ballot, we got to like wake up your friend and say, get down and vote. So how many really in the booth, press the thing, people is it going to take to put you in office?
Everybody.
That's the political answer. How many people you think are going to show up? But you want, obviously, as many people as can.
Yes, and we're doing the hard work. We're on the ground every night. We are knocking on doors. We are calling voters. I'm proud to be endorsed by several unions, 1199, 32BJ, DC 37, TWU, Local 100. They're contacting their members. We are using every communication tool possible to get the word out. I'm big on social media. I slipped stuff under people's doors. Right. We are very grassroots. Trust me, the voters will turn out.
Okay, quality of life. I'm sorry, Greg. This popped in because we were talking about this before you came in. Housing, but also the community. And I know you've been a big proponent of getting that community center in the community at the former Armory. A few years ago, we were out when Major Owens first started the push to get the thing started, and he's passed on, and you're resuming and continuing that fight for a community center.
The community center, let me say, is 1 block outside of the 43rd AD, but 2 blocks from my house.
Okay.
Right now, the youth in our community don't have a positive place to go.
Yeah.
So there is no YMCA. There is no Boys and Girls Club in the Crown Heights Central Brooklyn community itself. So we really need a positive place for the youth and for the community just to gather, to get information. Ultimately, I always like to say, Crown Heights and Lefferts Gardens needs what the restoration is to Bed-Stuy. We don't have that. This is an awesome opportunity for us to, really build something that is going to stand the test of time and really change the way we get together.
Why don't we have that yet? What's been the holdup? I mean, it seems like a logical conclusion here in Brooklyn. What's the problem?
I guess funding, space, maybe you know better than me, but now that we have this project coming underway, it is important that it is done appropriately. The Economic Development Corporation has engaged the community to find out what they would like in the new armory, and I think the community came out in droves to answer that call. I know that there are 8 proposals that have been submitted. We, to this date, still don't know what the 8 proposals consist of.
It's been years.
Yes.
Literally
yes,
years.
Yes, but it is important that this goes right and that the community is able to benefit from it.
What are any other issues that you want to tell about potential voters that you're ready to fight for once you get elected?
We have to raise the minimum wage. 3 million New Yorkers go to work every day and they're in poverty. They're using government benefits just to make ends meet and get by. I was there with the Fight for 15, and I'm committed to standing on the front lines, on the picket lines, to ensure that this gets done. We have a huge women's equality agenda that also needs to be addressed. I, as a woman, is still standing next to you as a man, and I'm not even getting the same dollar. This is just not right. We've come so far, but we have so much more to do.
So you would be for a home rule like de Blasio wants for setting a higher minimum than the governor is willing to go for?
Yes.
What about home rule for the MTA?
Yes.
And the rent guideline stuff, you want to bring that back from Albany?
Everything needs to be back here in the city. There's a huge disconnect from the city and the state.
Yeah.
I don't think they can ever understand what we are really going through down here. It's to live in New York City is to know what the residents are going through.
Brooklyn's own Diana Richardson. People can vote Tuesday, May 5th.
Tuesday, May 5th.
And where else can they find out about you online?
At www.dianarichardson.org. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at vote_Richardson. Facebook, Diana C. Richardson. Like the public figure page.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Look forward to great things from you.
Thank you.
Come back when you're president.
I will.
We got a commitment. We got a commitment.